Of all the words my daughter Sloane could have used, she chose embarrassing. "Dad," her text read, "you don't speak French. You'd just be sitting there confused. It would be embarrassing for both of us." This message arrived 4 days after I discovered her wedding plans. Not from her, but from an invitation tacked to someone else's refrigerator. "My name is Jaden Bobby. I'm 58 years old, and for 18 years I saved $150,000 for Sloane's wedding. That was $694 every single month. No vacations, no new truck, just one promise to myself. I would be there when she walked down the aisle. Now, she was telling me I wouldn't be there because I don't speak French. I read that text at 2:47 p.m. By 3:40 p.m., I was on the phone with the wedding planner in Paris. At 3:53 p.m., the $150,000 was gone. She wanted me to be invisible. Fine. My money would be invisible too. Let me tell you who I am. Not who my daughter thinks I am, or who my ex-wife told her I am. Who I actually am. I own a shop called Bobby's Auto Repair. 3 service bays, a waiting room with plastic chairs and coffee that's been on the burner too long, and a calendar on the wall that's perpetually stuck on March because nobody remembers to flip it. I've run this place for 23 years. 23 years of grease under my fingernails, brake dust in my lungs, and the kind of tired that doesn't wash off in the shower. I'm not complaining. I built this. Every socket wrench, every lift, every crack in that concrete floor. I earned it. On the wall behind my desk, there used to be a photograph. Sloane at 7 years old, sitting on my shoulders at the Ohio State Fair. She had cotton candy in one hand, the other gripping my hair so tight it hurt. Her smile took up half her face. I kept that photo there for 24 years. Through the divorce, through the empty weekends, through every time I looked at it and wondered where that little girl went. She didn't disappear all at once. It was slow, like watching ice melt. You don't notice it's happening until suddenly there's nothing left. Here's what you need to understand about my marriage. I met Margaret Caldwell in 1989. We were young, stupid, full of the kind of hope that doesn't survive contact with real life. We got married in 91, had Sloane in 93, and for a while, maybe 5 years, maybe 7, things were good enough. Then Richard Ashford showed up. He drove a BMW 7 Series, the first one I'd ever worked on. It needed a valve cover gasket, a 15-minute job, nothing complicated, but he kept coming back. Oil changes he could have gotten at any dealership, tire rotations his own mechanics could have done for free. I thought he just liked the service. Thought maybe he appreciated a guy who did honest work at honest prices. It took me 8 months to figure out why he was really there. Margaret filed for divorce in March 2009. Sloane was 16, old enough to understand what was happening, old enough to choose sides. She chose her mother. I don't blame her for that. Kids usually do. The settlement took almost everything. Margaret got the house, most of our savings, primary custody of Sloane. I got the shop, my tools, and every other weekend. I kept every single one of those weekends. Every one. Even when Margaret said Sloane was at a friend's house. Even when she said Sloane wasn't feeling well. Even when she said Sloane doesn't want to see you today, Jaden. I'd drive to that house, park in the driveway, wait 20 minutes, sometimes 30. Then I'd drive home, because that's what fathers do. They show up even when no one answers the door. Richard Ashford married Margaret 6 months after the divorce was final. He moved into my house, slept in my bed, raised my daughter, and somewhere along the way, he became the father she wanted. Richard owns Ashford Motors now, 12 dealerships across Ohio and Indiana. He sells the cars I fix. For a long time, I believed that I was wrong. 3 weeks ago, I got a call from Linda. Linda is Margaret's younger sister. She lives in Gahanna, married to an accountant, 2 kids in high school. She's always been the decent one in that family. Sends a Christmas card every year with an actual handwritten message. Asked about my health when I threw my back out in 2019. Jaden, she said on the phone, Sloane left some boxes here. Old stuff from college. She mentioned there might be some things you'd want. Photo albums, I think. I didn't want to go. Being anywhere near Margaret's orbit makes my skin crawl. But photo albums meant photos of Sloane when she was young. Before everything. When she still looked at me like I was the whole world. So, I went. Linda met me at the door with a strange look on her face. The kind of look people get when they know something you don't, when they're deciding whether to tell you. "Boxes are in the garage," she said. "Help yourself to coffee." I didn't want coffee. I wanted to grab the boxes and leave before I ran into anyone else, but I had to walk through the kitchen to get to the garage. And that's when I saw it. On the refrigerator, held up by a magnet shaped like the Eiffel Tower, a card. Cream-colored, heavy stock, gold lettering that caught the light. "The Ashfords and the Beaumonts cordially invite you to celebrate the wedding of Sloane and Olivier. June 15th, Château d'Evreux, Paris, France." I read it 3 times. The words didn't change. The Ashfords and the Beaumonts. Not the Bobbys, not the Caldwells, the Ashfords. Like I never existed. Like 31 years of being her father was a rough draft that got edited out of the final version. "Jaden," Linda's voice behind me. "When did you get this?" She didn't answer right away. That told me everything. 3 weeks ago. I thought you knew. I assumed Sloane had. She didn't. I took out my phone, photographed the invitation. Every word. Every gold letter. "Jaden, I'm so sorry. I thought." "It's fine, Linda. It's not your fault." But it wasn't fine. Nothing about it was fine. I left the boxes in the garage. Couldn't carry them. Couldn't carry anything. In my truck, I called Sloane. The phone rang 4 times, then voicemail. Her voice, professional and distant. "You've reached Sloane Ashford. Leave a message." Sloane Ashford. Not Sloane Bobby. She'd taken Richard's name years ago, but hearing it still felt like a knife. I didn't leave a message. I called again. Voicemail. I called that night twice. The next day, 3 times. Day 3, twice more. 4 days of calls, no answer, no call back, no text saying, "Sorry, Dad, I've been busy." Nothing. Then, on day 4, at 2:43 p.m., my phone buzzed. A text message. Not a call, a text. I stared at the notification for a long time before I opened it. Some part of me knew. Some part of me had known since I saw my name missing from that invitation. I opened it. "Dad, I was going to tell you. The wedding is in Paris. Everything will be in French. The ceremony, the toasts, the reception, everything. You don't speak French. You wouldn't understand a single word. You'd just be sitting there looking lost. And honestly, it would be embarrassing for both of us." Richard's walking me down the aisle. It makes sense. He knows everyone there, speaks the language, fits in with Olivier's family. "I hope you understand. I'll FaceTime you after and send lots of photos. Love you." I read it once, then again, then a 3rd time, word by word, like I was parsing a contract. Embarrassing for both of us. I said it out loud in my truck, alone. Embarrassing. The words sat in my mouth like something rotten. For 18 years, I ate lunch at my desk so I could deposit $694 a month into her wedding fund. For 18 years, I wore the same work boots until the soles separated from the uppers. For 18 years, I told myself that this was worth it, that this was what fathers did, that this was love. I found the email from Marguerite Levay, the wedding planner in Paris, the one Sloane had CC'd me on 3 months ago when she first told me about the venue. Subject line, confirmation, full payment schedule, Bobby Beaumont wedding. Deposit paid, $52,000. Venue, Château d'Evreux. Next payment due in 3 weeks, $98,000. Catering, flowers, photographer, music, everything else. Total, $150,000. Paid by Jaden M. Bobby. I stared at that email for a long time. At my name at the bottom of a contract for a wedding I wasn't invited to. At 3:40 p.m., I picked up my phone, dialed the international number. The phone rang 3 times, then a voice. French accent, professional, polished. "Leave events. Marguerite speaking. How may I help you? My name is Jaden Bobby. I'm the one financing the wedding at Château d'Evreux, the Beaumont wedding." A pause. I heard papers shuffling, a keyboard clicking. "Ah yes, Monsieur Bobby, I have your account here. Is there something I can help you with today?" "Yes, I need to cancel all remaining payments, and I want to request a refund on the deposit." Silence. 5 seconds. 10. "Monsieur Bobby, I'm not sure I understand. The wedding is in 11 weeks. I understand that. And you wish to cancel completely, all payments going forward, and whatever portion of the deposit you can return. More silence. When she spoke again, her voice had changed. Softer, more careful. May I ask, is there a problem with the arrangements? Something we can address? I looked out the windshield at my shop. At 23 years of work. At a life built on showing up. Over and over. Whether anyone noticed or not. No. The arrangements are fine. I won't be attending the wedding. That's all. You won't be. I see. Another pause. Monsieur Bobby, forgive me, but I must ask. You are the bride's father. Yes, I am. And you are not attending your daughter's wedding. Here's the thing about truth. It's simple. It doesn't need decoration. I wasn't invited. Apparently, I don't speak French, and that would be embarrassing. I heard her inhale. A sharp little breath that said more than words could. I see. Let me look at your contract. Typing. Pages turning. A long pause. The standard terms state that deposits are non-refundable after 60 days. You are past that window. However, given the circumstances, I can petition the venue for a partial release. I may be able to return $31,000 of the $52,000 deposit. The venue will retain $21,000 as a cancellation fee. That's acceptable. And the remaining $98,000 payment, that is canceled as of this conversation. You will receive written confirmation within the hour. Thank you, Monsieur Bobby. Yes, I have been doing this work for 15 years. Many weddings, many families, many. She paused, searching for the word. Complications. I imagine so. You are not the first father to make this call, but you are the first to do it with such, another pause, such dignity. I am sorry for what has happened to you. I didn't know what to say. A stranger in Paris, 5,000 miles away, showing me more kindness than my own daughter. Thank you, Marguerite. One more thing, Monsieur Bobby. When the bride contacts us, and she will contact us, do you want us to explain the reason for the cancellation? I thought about it. About Sloane getting that call, finding out the money was gone, realizing maybe for the first time that her father wasn't just a checkbook with legs. No, just tell her the account has been closed. She'll figure out the rest. Understood. Goodbye, Monsieur Bobby. I wish you well. Goodbye, Marguerite. I ended the call. 3:53 p.m. 66 minutes since I read that text message. 13 minutes since I dialed Paris. $150,000 gone. 18 years of sacrifice erased. I sat in my truck and waited for the guilt to come. The regret. The voice telling me I'd just destroyed my relationship with my daughter forever. It didn't come. What came instead was something I hadn't felt in years, maybe decades. Clarity. I wasn't financing my own exclusion anymore. I wasn't paying for the privilege of being embarrassing. I wasn't subsidizing a life that had no room for me. For the first time in 31 years, I had said no. Not to punish Sloane, not to hurt her, just to stop hurting myself. At 4:30 p.m., I locked up the shop, got in my truck, and started driving. Not home, not to my friend Douglas's, but to Lake Buckeye. It's a small lake, about 40 minutes east of Columbus. Nothing special to look at, but when Sloane was little, really little, before everything, I used to take her fishing there. She was terrible at it. No patience. Couldn't sit still for 10 minutes. But she loved the drive. Loved the stories I told her about my father teaching me to fish at the same lake 30 years before. Grandpa sounds nice, she said once. I wish I could have met him. Me too, sweetheart. Me too. We stopped going after the divorce. Margaret got the weekends. Richard got her attention. The lake stayed where it was. I parked at our old spot, walked down to the shore, sat on a rock that might have been the same rock I sat on 100 times before. The water was still. The sun was getting low, orange light on the surface like the lake was on fire. I didn't fish, didn't bring a pole, just sat there watching the light change, thinking about all the things I'd never get back. The money, the years, the little girl with cotton candy on her face. She was gone. Had been gone for a long time. I was just finally admitting it. The sun set, the stars came out. I stayed until I couldn't see the water anymore. Then I drove home, checked my email, and found the confirmation from Marguerite Levay. Subject, cancellation confirmed. Bobby payment account. I read it twice. Then I turned off my phone for the first time in years. The silence was strange, heavy, but not bad. Something had shifted. I could feel it. A door closing, but not locking. A door I wouldn't be holding open anymore. 6 months later, the shop is still here. I'm still here. Some things don't change. Richard covered the wedding. All of it. $119,000. The remaining balance plus the $21,000 deposit they couldn't recover. I heard about it from Douglas, who heard it from Linda. I didn't ask for details. The wedding happened. I saw one photo on Instagram. A friend of Douglas's showed it to me. Sloane in white, Olivier in a gray suit, the chateau in the background like something out of a magazine. She looked beautiful. She looked happy. I closed the app and didn't look again. Some things you don't need to see twice. Then 3 weeks ago, an email arrived. Not a text, an email from Sloane. Subject, Dad. I stared at it for a long time. Then I opened it. Dad, I found the letters. The ones I wrote when I was a kid. Douglas told me where they came from. I don't know what to say. All those years I thought you weren't coming. I thought you didn't want to see me. I thought you had given up on me. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I know what I did was wrong. The text was wrong. Not inviting you was wrong. Everything was wrong. I just wanted you to know that I know now. That I understand now. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. Sloane. I read it 3 times. Then I closed my laptop, went back to work, finished a timing belt, rotated some tires, drank coffee that was still too strong. That night, I wrote a letter, not an email. A letter by hand, on paper. Sloane, I got your email. Thank you for telling me about the letters. I'm not going to pretend it didn't hurt. It did. It still does. But I want you to understand something. I didn't cancel the payment to punish you. I did it because I finally realized that love without respect isn't love. It's just sacrifice. And I was tired of being a sacrifice. You said I'd be embarrassing. Maybe I would have been. But I would have been there. That was always the point. The door isn't closed, Sloane. It's just not wide open anymore. You'll have to knock. I'll be here. Dad. I put the letter in an envelope. Wrote her address on the front. Didn't have a stamp, so I set it on my desk. It's still there. I haven't sent it yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Some things take time. Yesterday, I hung the photograph back up. Not in the shop this time. At home, on my refrigerator, where I can see it when I want to. Not because I have to. Sloane at 7. Cotton candy. Ohio State Fair. The little girl who trusted me not to let her fall. She's not that girl anymore. Maybe she never was. Maybe that girl only existed in my head, in my hopes, in the stories I told myself to get through the hard years. But I was that father. I was the man who showed up, who paid, who waited in driveways and sent checks and saved $694 a month for 18 years. I was there. Even when no one saw me, even when no one believed me, even when my own daughter thought I had abandoned her, I was there. And now, for the first time, I'm done proving it. Here's what I know now. After 31 years of being a father, you can't make someone love you. You can't make someone respect you. You can't sacrifice your way into someone's heart. But you can respect yourself. You can set a boundary. You can say, this is what I will accept, and this is what I won't. And you can keep the door unlocked, just in case they decide to knock.